Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
I am Jayanto Chatterjee from IIT Kanpur, and we will discuss over the next few weeks a very interesting topic in today's business world: management of new products and services. Really speaking, products and services in day-to-day language, we kind of look at them differently, but as the world is evolving, a better way of classifying will be goods and services, which means that the concept of product, it embraces both tangible and intangible aspects. So, product is a multidimensional concept today which embraces goods and services, and by goods we mean a tangible, something that you can touch and feel, smell and so on, and service is something which is intangible, but together this is the most important concept, that a product is really speaking a bundle of values that customers buy to fulfill some needs, to perform some tasks which they want to get performed in their daily life. So, they buy a bundle of value, not exactly either product or service. The customer does not care what you call, how you classify, as long as the need is fulfilled, customer job is done. So, therefore, a bundle of physical goods, services, symbolic attributes all put together that satisfy the customer's wants and needs will be what we will be dealing with in this particular course. And we will particularly look at more in detail about new products. We will look at products as they mature. We will products in the decline stage, and again to repeat, both intangible work that the customer needs to be done, or tangible part of it which the customers can hear, smell, touch, taste, all that will be considered as a continuum which we call the goods service continuum. What is this goods service continuum? For example, this particular discussion that we are participating in, this teaching is in a way a pure service, which means it is knowledge that is getting exchanged between you and me, and this knowledge is not something that you can really touch or feel or smell, but to reach you, I am now in a studio, I am facing the camera, I am talking to you, and when you are listening to me, you are using a computer or a smartphone or some other internet enabled device, which means that to make this intangible knowledge exchange happen, we actually use some form of different types of physical tangible products. So, really speaking, there are really very difficult to find examples of pure goods. Some textbook talks about salt, for example, say it is pure goods, and when we talk about a musical concert or a teaching session, learning session, we will say it is pure service. But as I discussed just now, in reality to make that intangible happen, we will use tangible aspects, and to make a tangible product interesting, distinguished or distinctive, we will often use service. Now, however, those elements which are more like service, like teaching and learning, like a musical concert, like a movie, or some other form of entertainment, often have these 4 characteristics. We call it IHIP, as you see on your screen. The I, first I, stands for intangible, and intangible we just discussed, things that you can't really specify or conceptualize using one of the 5 senses. That means it is kind of beyond that. The H stands for heterogeneity. This is a very interesting and little complex concept. It means that the same service offered at the same time and space, for example, this particular session that is going on, or a musical concert, or a meal in a restaurant, can mean different things to different persons, even though they are present in the same time and space frame, because human beings are different. So, even when I am talking to you, this session may be different in certain aspects from another session that will be coming up, because I as a person may not be the same exactly time to time. So, as human beings are not machines, so therefore, the exchange often creates different shades of experiences, and that is why we call services as heterogeneous, also sometimes called differentiated. In the next I, we actually talk about inseparability. Inseparability means that this particular exchange that we are having between you and me needs you to be present and needs me to be present. And in today's world, however, in the past or even today, like suppose you have a haircut, then the person who is styling your hair and you must be present in the same salon in the same time. So, therefore, time and space bring two of you together. Even a teaching session, a learning session used to be like that, but today when you are participating in NPTEL, we are using technology to do some store and forward, which means that the day I have actually recorded this particular series may not be exactly the same day you are listening or participating in it. So, we use technology, even though when you are absorbing that learning, we are present in the same time frame, in the same space. So, even though one presence may be virtual, another may be real, sometimes I may be listening to your comments, or I may be reading your inputs in the forum, and I encourage all of you to regularly participate in the forum associated with this course, because the more you provide your expressions and inputs, we can make the session more interactive and more interesting, even though we can be what we call asynchronous in time. That means we can do some use technology to do some store and forward and time shift. The last one, P, stands for perishability, which means that if you are not present in a class, then you have lost not only your attendance, but that opportunity for participation and knowledge exchange. But here again, because of technology, we can actually capture a musical concert. so that even if you are not present, you can actually listen to that musical concert sometimes later if somebody has recorded the whole thing on his or her smartphone while attending that. Sometimes it is not allowed, but when it is allowed, it allows us, or we can record and you can listen to it. But if, however, just as something that has perished, has altered, it is not always bad. Like for example, cheese is in a way perished milk, so it is different. But perishability is challenged today because of different technological solution in many ways, but even then service has this aspect of transience. It may not be present, sometimes the opportunity may be gone if you are not there at that moment. If you look at the most admired companies, and you can see on your screen so many companies, Apple, Starbucks, IBM, or Infosys, or Wipro, or Amul, or the Taj Mahal Hotel famous, you will understand this almost continuity of goods and services in terms of offering to you an attractive product. So, just as the Taj Mahal Hotel is famous for its exemplary service, for its employees going beyond the call of duty, as it happened when we had the terrorist attack on, and then people actually staked their lives, the employees, to save their guests, and they became world famous for that dedication, for that presence of mind. All of that are actually part of the service that they offer. But also the Taj Mahal Hotel is famous for its architecture, for its unique aspects in terms of the building facilities from outside, inside, and so on. For example, IBM, famous for its fantastic, very useful, world class machines. In fact, they were originally called International Business Machines, but today they are called IBM because IBM is also a lot of innovative service. So, similarly it goes for Apple. Apple products like iPhone, excellent examples of well designed, well used goods, but iTunes, without which, or many other, Siri and others, different types of applications, software, without that particular class of goods might not have been as appealing as it is. So, which means this hardware and software in a way also can be used as other terms for goods and services. So, you will understand today most things are an integration of these two types of aspects. We will now discuss. So, what I am going to do is I am going to use these products as a kind of an encapsulated concept which will include goods and services in different degrees. So, one way of classifying products and services, calling them, we can call them B2C, as we say, business to consumer. So, these are products which are aimed at consumption directly. That means from a biscuit manufacturer through a channel, it reaches you, and you as the buyer, you are also the consumer, and so it is for ultimate consumption. Whereas B2B or business to business are products which are not directly consumed. For example, that biscuit will have some natural ingredients like wheat or sugar or coloring, edible colors. It can also include some flavoring. Now, those you cannot directly consume, the vanilla flavor for example, or the raw wheat, or the coloring agent, you can't consume them directly. So, they are actually therefore going through a sale, a transfer, and then some processing, some conversion to ultimately become consumable by an individual. which means again this is a kind of a continuum. Often products and services which we call B2C or consumer products, fast moving consumer goods, packaged consumer products, the different terminologies, they actually also entail a B2B process to reach you as a B2C product or service. And sometimes even a particular type of product can be B2B as well as B2C, have different versions. For example, a refrigerator, it can be a big size professional refrigerator used by restaurants or hotels. It can be as big as this room where you can walk in, or it can be just a domestic refrigerator, or say courier service. It can be for an individual customer, or it can be for corporates. So that way it is B2B as well as B2C. Again, as you see here, we have continuum, we have the different versions